Good afternoon, folks. It's another episode of the Gary and Mark Show, and I'm Gary.
And I'm Mark.
And we're coming to you not live.
But we are live.
Yes.
And once again, we are live via Zooming. Now, we've been together a couple times.
Yep.
Last two episodes, but now we're back to this. So,
yeah.
Anyhow, and Gary, you still can't see us. Gary's having some.
I cannot. I am looking at a white screen that has Zoom, and then it says, when system dialog prompts, click Open Zoom US, whatever that means.
It sounds like
yeah.
like it's on. I mean, we
if
see,
you
we
have
see
Zoom
and hear
on,
you.
install launch meeting. Let's see. Open Zoom. Open. You're back.
Weird. Okay. Well,
Okay.
You never left. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, we're live to our fans, and
Hey, fans.
I can see we have a guest with us again, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yep. And
I mean, when does she not? When does she's like a regular?
She is, and I can't tell whether she looks happy to be with us or not, Gary. I mean,
I'm intimidated.
For those listening to the podcast version, you describe her look, Gary, because she knows where you live now. So,
well, if you've seen any news clips of the Sturgis motorcycle rally, you would see many characters that would have that sort of look. They got the bandana, like the leather jacket. The eyes are kind of half closed like slits, and you can't read what she's thinking. It's pretty scary.
That is a great description.
Uh-huh.
DeeDee probably wouldn't go along with that, but I mean, I think that's perfect. Well, it's good. This is episode number 38.
38.
38. And so we're happy to have our listeners back. We continue to get them by the dozen every month or two. So that's good to know. But I do have a couple of jokes from our good buddy, Rich Bauer. He's become a fan of ours. And now I was a fifth grade teacher, but these sound like third grade jokes. And he does watch his granddaughter, who's like in kindergarten, maybe first grade this year. So maybe they're that grade of jokes, but we'll see if DeeDee gets them. What do you call a fly without wings? A walk. See, instead of a fly, a walk.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's...
Farting in bed equals sheet music. Farting in bed equals sheet music. All right.
That was kind of clever right now.
Yeah.
I asked my friend Nick for 5 cents. Of course, he was Nicholas without nickels. Okay.
That's a stretch.
When you're out driving, what do you do if you see a spaceman? You take it, man. See if you see a parking space.
Oh, gotcha.
All right, yeah, I know. Okay, so we'll say to Rich, you better get something a little more easier to understand. All right, it's September 4th when we post this thing. Any dates, Gary?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, there are plenty. We won't go over all of them.
Okay.
That's probably why I was late to the broadcast.
Oh wait, that's okay.
And the oldest one I found, let's see my notes here. Yeah, how about 476?
That's pretty old.
When Romulus Augustulus abdicates the Roman Empire to Odoacer, the barbarian. How's that for a name? How they know that was September 4?
Well, how they even know those names, I don't know. And
DeeDee
might not know that Gary is a historian, so he knows all these people. But
how about this? 1780.
Not old enough to know him personally.
No, I don't. I hope I didn't. Romulus Augustulus. How about that?
What a name!
Anyway, how does he answer to his friends? Well, had to give it up. Had to abdicate. Sorry. Make Rome great again.
There you go.
So 1781, L.A.
had a toga with that on it.
Yeah.
So what was the next day? Yeah, they didn't have hats back then.
1781.
That's not too long ago.
L.A. was founded. Just think what was able to happen in less than 200 years.
Yeah, I know. Ooh.
Yeah. 1813, Robert Fulton started operating the first steamboat.
Okay. Sounds modern.
1882, the electric light bulb gets its first kind of big show trying to light up Pearl Street Station. How about that?
Well, nice to have those.
1888, roll film camera patent by Eastman.
What year was that?
1888.
Wow.
Oh, here you go. 1893, Beatrix Potter writes her first Peter Rabbit book for a 5-year-old boy.
Okay. Good for her.
And 1936, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, the premiere of Swing Time.
Haven't seen that one.
All right, 1950, the premiere of Beetle Bailey in the comic strips.
Did he still have that in the comic strips? I never read a paper.
I think so. Of course, Mort Drucker's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
dead for years, but somebody's doing it. But it's just like in our newspaper every week, we got Billy Graham, and I know he's been dead for years.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
but,
but something about eternal life, I
it
guess.
could be, yeah.
There you go.
Email works everywhere, I guess.
1965, the Beatles' Help hit #1 and stayed there for a long time.
I don't know if DeeDee likes Beatle music.
Oh, here you go. Well, I bet DeeDee likes this. 1995 premiered the series on TV, Xena Warrior Princess. Because, you know, DeeDee kind of reminds me of Xena Warrior Princess. Hear that?
What was that?
That
Was that
was
Xena?
that was the Xena battle cry that my wife it does pretty well.
I did hear that. I
Yeah,
thought
Lucy Lawless starred as Xena.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Xena, it's spelled
Oh.
Xena,
Mm-hmm.
but you know the X in Xena is silent like the P in swimming.
Okay.
Uh,
I get that. Okay.
Like that. Okay, how about this? 1998, Google was formerly incorporated,
1998. Wow.
and
That's
in
the kind of thing.
2000 Yeah, and
That's
it will
good.
end 2016. Mother Teresa was officially canonized, which sounds like they put you in a cannon and shoot you out, but I know that's not what it means.
But that I mean, she became a saint, though, did it, or did it?
Or something close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she deserves something.
Heck yeah.
She does. So, any
Yeah.
other dates? That was a lot of dates.
That's 2016.
That's
We'll
pretty-
just stop
Yeah,
here.
a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to see DeeDee with us again.
Yeah.
And we thought we ought to just check in with her. So,
Yeah.
how are things going, DeeDee? You look as happy as ever.
I just came in from a ride. I got a little something in my eye I've been trying to work out for the last hour or so. I think a bug may have gotten inside my helmet or
So you
something. So
don't wear one of those helmets with a face shield?
yeah, it's got a shield, but sometimes something can get in there anyway. And so if you see me winking, it's not at Gary.
And Gary's wife's nearby listening because, she will.
With her Xena battle cry.
Yeah, if she hears about this winking thing, Gary could be in trouble. Okay. So for listeners who are maybe new or viewers, DeeDee is head of the Wicked Women of Watershed motorcycle gang. So that was what ride. She wasn't talking about like a little bicycle ride. She's got a Harley. And you can tell from that leather jacket. So how was it ride, DeeDee?
It was beautiful, but it's a little bit humid out there today. I got to air out my jacket.
Yeah. Well, September 4th, I was hoping, I mean, it sounds like fall, but we had a record here yesterday. I think it was like 90 degrees or something.
Yeah.
It was hot. I'm ready for some cool weather. So DeeDee, also for readers don't know, is head of security at Gary and Mark Podcasting University,
And also the head of insecurity.
which is probably this time is a big department.
Oh gosh.
Because those kids over there, or young adults, or even old adults, are probably worried about being back on campus.
It's a
How's it-
hot mess over there.
Yeah. So are they doing any? Since most of our students now do study via distance learning, but I'm sure there's some on campus because they like to go to the bookstore and get their swag and stuff. But
Mhm.
so how's things looking down on campus? People staying apart 6 feet?
Well, they need to be wearing the mask more.
Well, that's your job, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and I enforce it. I got some that I keep in my pocket. If you come near me and you ain't got a mask on, I'll put one on for you.
Have any of them resisted that, or they don't care?
They try. They're not going to get very far with resisting. That's,
And let me see if one of these punk kids, not that we have any punk kid. Oh, there goes Gary.
There you
I
go.
like that, man. And that one looks store-bought, Gary.
No,
No?
Barbara made this out of, I could hold up my pants leg.
Well,
I
what's-
turned these trousers into shorts.
You better say that again. What, she made it out of your
I
trousers?
turned these trousers into shorts. Let's see, can I get my shorts? There you
Yeah,
go.
we saw. Okay, so that's where it came from. Very
Yeah.
smart. Very smart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, how many do you think she's made?
Oh gosh, I'll bet she's made 4 dozen, 5
Wow.
dozen.
For other people or just your family? You and
Oh yeah, we for a lot of other people.
Okay.
Yeah.
well, I finally was able to get a store-bought one that was 3 layers. And I ordered it. I never order things off of Facebook, but I did this. 50,000 5-star reviews. What they didn't say is how long it's going to take to get it. It's like 5 weeks. But they deposited they ran my credit card that day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I finally got it. Now they keep saying these same ads and emails. Now we're shipping 0 to 3 days. Apparently a lot of people did complain. So back to GMPU and DeeDee. So DeeDee, if one of these punk kids, and like I said, we don't have many punk kids and probably none, but if you put a mask on one of them and you watch them walk 10 feet away and that person took it off, what would you do?
Oh, they know I'm watching them. I'll stand right behind them until they're off the edge of campus. I don't hold truck with that. You can't fool me.
Well, I know some universities like University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, opened up and 3 days later closed down.
Yeah.
Or closed down for in person because what, like 1,000 cases or something. So, I mean, how many cases are happening at GMPU? Do you have any idea?
I'm not versed on the medical side of things, but I do know that it's a little absurd to expect 18, 19-year-old children to show any kind of intelligence around protecting themselves and others. They just don't have the capacity. Their frontal cortex is not fully engaged, and I on the one hand, I can't blame them because they're not really physically ready, but on the other hand, don't be stupid. Just don't be stupid. Your mama taught you better than that.
So let me ask you then. So Gary already mentioned Sturgis, North Dakota, South Dakota. And I forgot how many thousands or tens of thousands of people showed up. So DeeDee, have you ever gone to that event up in Sturgis? What if
No,
you went there now and you saw all these people? You said these young students, 19-year-old didn't have their frontal cortexes developed, whatever. But now you saw these grown people, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, looking a lot like you, that same look as Gary was describing. What would you think? What would you say anything to them or just kind of move off to another town in South Dakota?
well, I have to tell you this right now. I ain't going anywhere where there's a crowd of people. I just think that that's foolhardy. Even if that was a family reunion, I wouldn't be going to it right now. I just don't think people ought to be going out there. It's not just about you. It's about that person's grandma, that person's daughter who's got a, condition. I don't know what's going on with other people, but you kind of have to have this global attitude that it's not just about how good you feel. I mean, heck, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson got this. If that's not a model of health and vigor, his whole family's come down with it, and I think they're on the road to recovery now, thank goodness. But if a strong guy like that can get it, so can anybody. I don't know why anybody thinks they're above this. That virus doesn't know what you're like. It just wants somewhere to live.
Yep, I have to agree with you. Yeah, I heard that about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Not that I'm a big, what was it, wrestler, you say? I forgot.
Well, he
That's what
started out, did he? Yeah, I reckon he started out wrestling, didn't he? And then he kind of was a movie star.
He's
Movie
Hollywood
star.
now, I reckon.
Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I don't keep. I am not up on the all those current trends. Gary is now. He is a trendsetter.
Oh, that's, yeah.
Brown Watershed, and
I saw the pants he's got on.
I'm telling you, that is probably ripped off. That was before he invented ripped off shorts before.
Well, I bought
Design
these.
and
They
stuff.
were long pants. I bought them at Goodwill for $4.
Or then, how long
And
ago
then
was
I've had
that?
them. They're my work around the house pants. I don't go out in public with cut off pants and old hand me down shirts, because then you get kind of, what's the word for it? People just assume.
You're homeless.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta, when you're older, you could dress like that when you're 20 and be okay. But when you're in your 70s, people,
You told us a story one time, maybe DeeDee went here, when you were hiking and you came in off the trail and you and a friend went somewhere and you hadn't shaved and showered and whatever, and people thought you were homeless. Maybe you'd gone to get something to eat.
it was a little fast food place in Bryson City where, the guy I go backpacking with a lot, he's mid-40s. And we got caught in a rainstorm the last day. So I think I found some old beater clothes in the back of my car. Yeah. And I wondered why the lady at the counter was trying to figure out, she took our orders and figured out a way that you could put my biscuit on his order, and then it was going to save us about 40 or 50 cents, which I thought, well, that's nice. I don't know why you're spending all this time. And then I went in the bathroom to wash my hands and looked in the mirror, and I was staring at an old homeless guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I figured that she figured this nice younger man had taken me to the fast food restaurant to try and feed me. Yeah.
Well, we got DeeDee here, so
she could probably help us with what we need to do on our looks. So
yeah, that's
we
true.
Look better.
That's true, because she's this young person. So you go with Gary first, DeeDee. What do you suggest to make him look better?
A bandana.
That would, yeah.
I would just wear that thing over your whole face. I would probably.
Well, as Gary often says, we have faces meant for radio or good for radio. There you go. Yeah, where's mine? I got mine. Actually, mine's out in the car. I don't have 48 of them, so I have to wash one out and wear the other one.
My gosh, Barbara will have to make you a mask.
No, I've got 2 of them now. I've got 3 brand new ones from CVS that I keep in the car in case I forget mine. But then I got 2 of the permanent ones. So one I wash and then one I rotate them back. I don't go many places. Gary and DeeDee are probably out and about all the time.
Well, I keep masks in the car, and generally they're right next to the pee bottle. So
no, we won't get into that. Although, yeah, DeeDee goes back a few episodes back. We had a device you might be interested in. I forgot the little buddy. What's that?
Yeah, the Pocket Buddy, right?
Yeah, pocket. There you go. Yeah. Well, so there's one thing. I talked to Mayor Thomas the other day, and he was telling us, indeed, this is why we wanted you on the show, that, they called off almost all big events, but they are still trying somehow or another to put together a big event, maybe even distancing, that they have in Watershed every fall, the Watershed Possum Festival. And so I thought Mayor Thomas was wanting DeeDee to come in for security, because she does that GMPU, she does that dollar store there in Watershed. But guess what, DeeDee?
Tell me.
He wants you, he says, you have been named the 2020 Possum Festival Possum Queen for this year.
Hell no.
Wait a minute. He's already asked 12 other people. They all gave him the same answer. So you are the one, because all those other 12 had good reasons. Now, why can
do it
you
for
not-
the possums or possum?
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
am nothing. I mean, Queen is. Mm, 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 mm.
How about Possum Keen? We could get him to change the name, gender.
No, but Possum Queen, and you could. I think the parade is that you try and cross the road. Is
That's
that
true.
what the? Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's a good one.
they do make great pets. Possums do.
And
They
I've
don't
heard.
get rabies.
Now
Uh,
what? Yeah, I've heard that.
venomous snakes don't bother them.
Mm.
Is that all true though? I keep seeing. I know you. DeeDee's even said to eat ticks like crazy, but
Mhm. They don't smell real pretty unless you do. What I've heard is if you
maybe,
plan to
maybe,
eat one, you gotta feed it milk and white bread for 2 weeks before it's edible. But
so
I
they're
wouldn't.
not. Maybe they're not smelling good is why Mayor Thomas tapped DeeDee. She was just saying. Well, I mean, you just said you had the leather jacket on, need to air it out from your ride. So I thought maybe you bumped into him earlier this week or something. Oh,
Wow.
okay. Well, you take that up with Mayor Thomas. I'm just the messenger. He's, yeah, yeah. Okay.
First you tell me I'm gonna be the queen, then you tell me I stink.
Well, I didn't
I,
mean it that way. I meant just you were authentic. Put it that way. So
mm,
we're
smell
supposed
like
to we're supposed to report back because it involves like a ball and a big festival, and you sit on this big throne thing, and like Gary said, try to cross the road without getting hit. Not a lot of
Yeah.
traffic in Watershed, but that would be a fun part, things to watch.
again, I'm not going anywhere where there's lots of people. If they want to make me the deity of this event and they can provide me with some kind of plexiglass enclosure that's got recirculating air that's going through a HEPA filter, I would consider something like that, but I ain't being named a queen. I ain't gonna mill around with people. I ain't wearing
Well,
a dress or nothing.
well, I don't blame you. Do you ever wear a dress? Not, you don't have to wear a dress for this. It's more of a costume, but no.
See what I wear.
Yeah, I do. But I mean, you would look good in some sort of a possum suit. They're nice looking. All right, we're insulting her. You got anything to add to that, Gary?
I'm not sure, where to go with this other than I think that because the Possum Festival raises money for worthy causes,
That's true.
that, DeeDee, her being the Possum Queen, I think could maybe take this festival up to another level.
Yeah, because if she personally asked people for money, you think they're going to turn her down?
No, heck no. And she could be the Zoom queen, where you don't really have to,
That's true.
you
Yeah.
can be 6 feet away.
If we had some money for the show, which people could donate at www.garyandmark.com. If we had some money, we could afford a Zoom account that goes with 100 or more people for more than
Yeah.
40 minutes, and we could have the whole festival. There aren't hardly 100 people in Watershed to have a computer.
Not living. No.
That's true. So we could probably work that out. I mean, friend Chris Peters, you know him, right, Gary? He just,
Yeah.
I had a friend of his passed, and they had the funeral on Zoom. And Chris is
Now,
up, he's up on Zoom. He had never heard of doing a funeral on Zoom. He said some people are out like in their yards, on their laptops or whatever, just at the service. So we could have a Zoom possum festival.
good. Just think of Zoom service, and I mean dressing to go to a funeral. You got to think about it. But on a Zoom funeral, other than a shirt, you don't have to be wearing anything, right?
Well, we know you're wearing shorts, so that part's good. So you, at least I'm not showing you what I have on, and DeeDee's not showing us. We see all we want to see of DeeDee. So, DeeDee, I need to report back to Mayor Thomas before too long. So,
I'd be happy to help out with the festival, and if you told me what the charities were, I might be more inclined to help out. But I'm not interested in being called the queen or nothing. I don't really like that word.
well, you got another word? He'll probably change it for you.
I have to think about it a little bit.
Have a warrior princess.
I mean, the possum warrior. Let me think about that.
Ooh, there you go.
I like
Possum
that.
warrior princess.
Yeah, because I'm sure other towns have possum festivals, and possum queen's boring. I like that. And then that could be male or female, could rotate back and forth.
Might have to be something starts with a P, so it sounds good.
Possum.
Princess. No, Princess sounds
Yeah,
stupid.
we can't go there either. That's going in the wrong direction.
Just leaving Sissy.
Well, maybe our listeners can. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to have a contest. Here's a CD we forgot to give away before. This is from a friend of ours, Scott Reed, Tupelo, Mississippi. A big band he has. I mean, they're rock, Southern rock and classics. They do covers and they do original songs. Brand new. This has never been opened. We'll give this CD away. Anybody in the U.S., postage included, all they have to do is have the winning name for what we call the Possum Princess. I mean, Possum Queen. Instead of Possum Queen, we need a new name for the head, the monarch or whatever, patriarch or matriarch of this Possum Festival for Watershed, which is coming.
It's our rebranding. We're rebranding.
There you go. So all you have to do is send it to garyandmarkshow@gmail.com. garyandmarkshow@gmail.com. We'll put it down in the show notes in case people miss it. And for watching on YouTube, we'll put it as a caption. So that's a good idea. All right. So and we won't say the first one that sends in, the best one. Let's give a deadline. Possum Festival's coming up third week of October or so. So what? Maybe October 1, we have to have some answers in. And if we only have one person suggest something, that's probably the best one. So your chances of winning are pretty high because the last time we gave away something, we had exactly 2 to give away. And how many entries do we have, Gary?
1, 2.
2 is right. So chances are you can come up with anything, but Possum Princess and Possum Queen don't work. So hopefully someone come up with something.
Marsupial matriarch, but nah, that's too,
Are possums marsupials? I forgot.
Yes, they're North America's only.
Okay. I knew we had one. I didn't think it was the skunk, but
Not just a historian. Apparently, he's also a zoologist.
that's right.
Just
All
talking. Well, it's pretty easy to learn about how many marsupials live on your continent if you only got one.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Yeah.
All right. Well, we need to wrap this show up because I just got a notice saying our time is running out.
Well, I want to
unless
put
you
in a
got-
plug
yeah.
for people need to watch your Depend review. Country Life with Columbus Mark.
Well,
Check out the Depend review.
Well, now that you mention, I'll link to it from this video. I appreciate that, Gary, and DeeDee. I appreciate that. Yeah, that took some guts to do that. I wanted, people wanted me to do a product review, and I figured, hey, you know what? That fits Gary especially, okay, and me too. So I loved your comment, Gary. You said you laughed so much you almost peed in them. So that was a good comment. I've got that written down. Well, we'll do that. So we and Miss DeeDee has been on the Country Life with me before. She's also a financial advisor.
That's right.
And
a
apparent-
garden. Help you
that's
with
right.
garden. Yeah.
Absolutely. She is a woman of many talents. So we want to thank, of course, DeeDee for being here and our usual sponsors. Can you name them, Gary? We'll give Gary a test.
Well, let's see. How about Rabbit Island Resorts?
There you go.
Just hair better. And then let's see. I know we have some others,
The Big
Whizz Pocket Buddy.
That's right. And yep. And we also have Saluda Outfitters, home of Green River Eddy's tap room, and we have LJ Meyers and his professional White Dove releases. All right. I think it's been a nice little episode. I've had fun having DeeDee back.
Yes, it has been.
She always looks the same.
A little bit of insulting going on. I might have to think twice before I come back.
Well, don't do that. Well, you're going to be with us on the Possum Festival, even if you're Zooming or in a plexiglass box. We're going to work that out in October.
Yeah.
So that's DeeDee. I'm Mark.
I'm Gary.
And it's been fun having everybody here. We'll see everybody in the next episode. Thanks for listening.
So long.
All right. Bye-bye.